Hi, Booktube. Welcome to Jackie's Literary Corner. I am Jackie, and this is part 2 of looking at my big books that are unread. So as I said in the previous video, I had a plan originally to do something where I would go, big books in series, my big books that are my Stephen King books, and classics and then contemporary works. But then I decided to just go shelf by shelf. And luckily, let me readjust this, move this. I was able to use the plug on the down at the down closer to the other shelf for this next shelf. I wasn't sure if I would be able to. I wasn't sure if I could stretch that far, but it's not coming loose yet, so now I don't know about the last shelf. We will see how that works. Because I do like having this light. It does really. Okay, so let's talk about the big books on here. So this is when we go into the Stephen King territory. I decided to put all my Stephen King over here, and then I have my Dickens books over here, and then try to include my British literature, and then I have some on this shelf. Some of my other British authors, and then I actually have some Indian literature over here too. Okay, so my first book is not written by Stephen King, but it's the Stephen King universe that I got last year for Christmas, that Terry, I believe, gave me. So this is the book on all of his stories and all his novels and how they're all connected. Which the other day I was thinking about the other night. I was thinking about it, looking into it, because Mike from Mike's Book Reviews, he talks about, he's been reading all the Stephen King books and reviewing them, and he talks about connections in the Stephen King universe. Which I wonder if he has a name for it, because, Brandon Sanderson's work are called The Cosmere. And then I know, and it sounds like, because I reread the first 3 books in the Agatar series, and then I read Court of Frost and Starlight, or listened to an audiobook, and now I'm currently listening to the Court of Silver Flames, and a character is just referred to another character doing research on other worlds. And I think I do recall Sarah J. Maas in an interview, maybe even probably with a booktuber, saying that all of her worlds might be connected. So I think she's also doing that kind of scenario where all worlds are connected. All of her worlds that she writes about are connected. So this is only okay, this is about the author. So if you read that, it's 512 pages. If you read about that, about the author page, and this is listing all of his other works and talking about him, where he's from. So this might not be considered a tome if you don't count the index and about the author page. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's already going into the. So this doesn't count as a tome. I thought it did, but it does not. Unless you count that, reading the index. So, in a way, it could be a tome. Sorry, it's not going in. I had it in there before. I don't know why it's not going in now. Come on. Got it. Alright. Okay, so I know this is a tome. Sleeping Beauties. This is one of his more recent works, written with his son Owen. Again, his sons look so much like him. That's Owen. Although I feel like his other kid, Joe, looks even more like him even more like his dad than Owen does. Author's note. Okay, So 700 pages. So this one is 700 pages. This is the one where the women all of a sudden starts falling asleep, going into a coma, and they are wrapped in a cocoon type state, and then if you wake them up, that's not good. Like if you wake them up too early. Okay, so here is the next one. This is the one I was considering getting buying the paperback copy of this one, but it was one of these where it didn't matter which Stephen King I bought because I still had a copy of both of them. So I stuck with the Talisman because I was probably gonna get rid of the Talisman in this one. And with hardback books, I do go back and forth with keeping the hardback editions or not. But this is 11/22/63 I'm looking at. This is kind of a this is his time travel story where the guy goes back in time to stop the Kennedy assassination. Let's see, afterward, I knew that. Okay, so then we have. Okay, so the story itself, not counting the afterword, ends at 842 pages. So that's 11/22/63. Okay, so this next one, this one is often paired with The Regulators, but The Regulators was written by under his pseudonym Bachman, but I think The Regulators is considered a sequel to this one. This is Desperation, by the way. And this is actually, this is shorter than 11/22/63 and Sleeping Beauties, because it's actually only goes up to 690 pages. So, yeah, this is only 690 pages. I think because they're hardback, they seem they seem a lot more intimidating than they really are. Although what's nice is a lot of his books have, a lot of them, unless they're mass markets, have big print, which I really like. I mean, it doesn't have to be like super big, like, I can't read that big, but I do, like, I like this print size. So that is Desperation, which is a different kind of horror. Instead of like monsters and stuff like that, it's about humans being monsters, I think. Okay, so let's see. Let's check. So is this bind up in the 500 page mark? In this big book mark? Yeah. Okay, so this bind up of some of his Bachman books, this only has 4 of them though. I think it's probably his shorter ones, his novellas. So this is 692 pages. This is the Bachman books with Rage, which apparently there's a thing about that one where that one just like this like that the Rage was one that wasn't always in there, wasn't always combined with the other ones, I think. So this is Rage, The Long Walk, Roadwork, and The Running Man. And actually this has an introduction on why he was Bachman, because if you know anything about Stephen King, you know that he created the Bachman pseudonym, but then he got outed. And I cannot remember which, it was either Misery or The Dark Half. One of those books that he wrote it in response to someone outing him for creating Bachman, which I guess a lot of, like, now that it's common now, but I guess in a way people might have been offended by that and felt that was an insult that he did that an author would create an alter ego version of themselves, like Like, maybe that was just seen as dishonest. I don't know, but it's just weird that people made that such a big deal. I'm going by this blurb, this little one-sentence description of what happens in Rage. I might actually like that one the best, because it says high school show and tell session explodes into a nightmare of evil. And I think if you like books like The Hunger Games, you probably like The Long Walk, because it's a kind of a dystopian world where I remember, and I think Emily Fox read that one and really liked that one. She's one of those people only like some of Stephen King's works, because there are a lot of people that like, only a few of Stephen King works. They don't like all of it. It's amazing this guy's still writing. That guy is not young. I mean, okay, so this one, Fairy Tale, this is his newest, one of his newer books. His most recent, I think. Because, let's see, so the copyright is, oh, crap. Well, you know what? I'm probably going to reread it anyway. So, because I did start it when we were at the beach, because I had bought it right before we went to the beach in South Carolina, and it just, yeah, it was published last year, because it doesn't have a paperback yet, so it was published last year. So this is his newest one, and this is about, and I love when he writes long ones, but his longer works, but then it just takes me a while to read them. 598 pages as far as reading material goes. Let me see, is that? Yeah. Okay, let's see if this one is a tome. In fact, I'm thinking about most of his books. Now, if I didn't count the Bachman book, because that one has multiple stories in it, so that, that's one of his ones where it doesn't have that individually. Okay, so this one does not count as a tome, although it feels like it. Now let's get to one of the biggest ones of all. It. Which, oh, well, I guess I can't really count this one. I guess I can't count this one because I have read it, so I can't count this one. But I'm sure you guys know where it is, how many pages, so I can't count that one. I cannot count In Misery. I know for sure is not a tome. So let's see if Skeleton Crew. Does that count? Although I guess I shouldn't count that one because granted, I did count the Bachman book, so I guess I will count it. If it goes past it. Okay, so yeah, so it does. So if you count this one, it's 640 pages, but it's individual stories. So it's a bind up, and that's a Skeleton Crew. And I'm in the middle of that one as we speak. And I don't count it because I've already read it once. And I just start my reread. Let's see. Does this one count? Is this a big book? Yep, 529 pages. So it's not super long, but it's one of his. So. Okay, and then we have this one, which is another collection of his novellas. So, this bind up is 935 pages. That is 4 Past Midnight, which includes which includes 4 of his novellas. The Longlers, which I have read, Secret Window, Secret Garden, I've only seen the adaptation, The Library Placement I've read, and The Sundog I've read. And the Skeleton Crew has more than 4, so I wasn't going to list all of them. Okay, this is the one I just bought. This is the Talisman, and it does, that's the one, this is the Talisman, and its sequel is Black House, which I don't have. I have a mass market, but it is down in the den to be eventually sent away to probably the roast office or Gibbons Bookshop. Or the Black Castle books. I mean, I almost would rather go send books to Black Castle because then I get credit. But then part of me wants to take them to the other place because then it's just hard to plan for Black Castle because I have to call in advance, 24 hours in advance. So the epilogue ends at 767 pages in the Talisman. Now, I do want to read Bag of Bones because it takes place in a lake house. I feel like it's a good summer read. Originally, I was going to read it I started in last October, but then I ended up not pursuing it. Okay, that one's Drawing a 3. Does Drawing a 3, how many pages does Drawing a 3 have? Nope. Okay, so Drawing a 3 doesn't count. Let's see. That was another option. I almost bought the 7th book in this edition of the Dark Tower. That's what the last book is called. I almost bought it. But it has recently appeared on Thrift Books. So if I buy anything next month on Thrift Books, then it would be I should probably get that one. Okay, so this is the acknowledgement. So 606. So yeah, so this just goes over. So this goes over by 100 pages. That is the book 3, the Wastelands. And the one I have started to read from this series, Dark Tower series. Oh, damn it, I keep doing that. I don't mean to count the ones I've already read. I'm counting the ones I didn't read. So I have read The Wasteland. So that one I shouldn't have counted that one. Totally forgot. Oh. Although, maybe I shouldn't just show all my big books. Include the ones I've read. Because it's hard, I keep forgetting. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to show all the tomes, all my big books. So this is Wizarding Glass this one is longer, and it's 893 pages. See? And this, I am told, some people say you can skip this one, but because I'm reading the whole series for the first time, I'm going to read it. But this is a story within a story. Like most of it is. But the first part does, we do meet the key. So actually, the thing about that, I feel like you should read it, Wizard Glass, because there are parts that show you the progress of the quartet. So I feel like you should. I'm trying to remember who I heard say that, but I know that there has been I heard somewhere that some people recommend you can skip it because it's not within the main plot. But I think in a way it kind of is. So the books on the shelf are a bit of a tight fit. This is book 5, and I love this green color. I love how book 5 is in this green color. So this is The Wolves of Calla, the 5th book in the Dark Tower series. And then, this one includes, this is about let's see, 709 pages. It's book 5. And, okay, I'm curious about book 6 because it doesn't look as long as book 5. It's actually a little shorter than even book 4. Physically, anyway. So this is book 6. I'm trying. I mean, no, book 7 did look chunkier. Now I remember that. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so yeah, I'm right. It's not in the tomes, but I just got spoiled for something. So I think I'd heard that Stephen King is in, like, does kind of a meta thing, includes himself in this book, in the book 6 of the Dark Tower. But, looking at how he did is kind of surprising. I'm not gonna spoil anyone. Of course, if you read the book, you probably know what I'm reacting to. But yeah, that's... Okay, so I don't have book 7. And book 7 did look bigger than this one, so a little bit bigger, so it might be in the tomes. Okay, so now we get to the next biggest. So that is The Stand by Stephen King, which is going to be, or has been adapted again, because it was a mini-series. It was made into a mini-series. And a lot of people say it's not good. It's funny that when Stephen King gets in the director's chair, it's apparently not as good. Okay, so this is 1152 is the last. Which, that last picture is very disturbing. Since I decided to count all my big books, let me come back to it and tell you how many pages are in it. So, but 1152. So, let's see. This copy of it, which it does look bigger, is, let's see if it is long. So I like this one. I like this edition. I like the white cover and everything. Okay, this is an Okay, so this is an excerpt from Sleeping Beauty. Kept wanting to say Sleeping Beauty, but Sleeping Beauties. Okay, so this is a little bit more. Okay, wait, that's the acknowledgements. The acknowledgements are 1,157, so it's a little bit over. At least my edition is of it is a little bit over than The Stand, a little past The Stand. So 1,153. So as far as the reading goes, it might be the same length, same amount of pages. Okay. So that one, that's the biggest Stephen King book I've read so far. Okay. Sam's Lot, I just finished my reread of this one. Let's see if this one counts as a big book. So 653 pages. So just barely. That's Salem's Lot, his vampire take. It's basically the tagline is Dracula in the suburbs. Kind of like the Southern Guys book club to slaying vampires. Except for, of course, Stephen King, so his stories are a little bit darker and more vulgar, probably. Okay, so this one I read a couple years ago. This is The Shining. And this is about... Oh, okay, so this is an excerpt from Dr. Sleep. So this is 659 pages. That's that one, 659 pages. And then here is that said sequel, Dr. Sleep. So, apparently The Shining is longer than Dr. Sleep, because Dr. Sleep is only 531 pages. Oh wait, no, that might not be. Oh, that's the author's note. So if you didn't read that one, then it'll be 528 pages. So still, The Shining is longer than that one. I'm almost done with the Stephen King section. Okay, so next we have Under the Dome. And that is 1,072 pages. That's Under the Dome. And then Needful Things is one I've read and really enjoyed it. And that is... Okay, so that counts. And that is about 802 pages. It's honestly I've read. It's just that it takes me a long time. Even years to read those books, but I have done it. I've read these books before. Like, I should actually do a list of... Sorry, I'm having trouble getting the book on the shelf without accidentally folding it. Okay, this is Insomnia, which I'm told I've read that I shouldn't read this until I've read more of the Dark Tower. So this is because there's apparently a reference to the Dark Tower in this one, which I should check and see where the reference is. Okay, so 789 pages. That's Insomnia. So basically the guy can't sleep. So that is that one. Okay, let's see if I get this on back on the shelf. Okay, I'm not counting those big leather bounds that I got from Barnes & Noble. This is a cloth bound, so this is one I've read. Bleak House. We're on the Charles Dickens section now. Okay. Not counting the notes in the appendix. We have 989 pages. That's not counting if you don't count the appendices. And this is another one I did start rereading. I don't think Oliver Twist is one, or Great Expectations to Save Nicholas Nickleby is one. 777 pages. That's Nicholas Nickleby. Okay. Alright, so now we have Little Dorrit. Okay, so this one ends on page 859. Okay. Get in there. Get in there. Okay. Then we have David Copperfield. This is the Arcturus edition. And this ends on page, and what's And what's good about these ones, which can be both good and which at least these ones don't have any notes. So if you just want the story and you don't want all the extra stuff that's notes and all that, then these ones don't have. This is an edition that doesn't have notes. This is 765 pages, and I have read that one. Doesn't count. Does Tale Two Cities count? Nope, because I can already see the appendices. Okay, so let's go to Our Mutual Friend. Okay, counting the postscript, we have 800 pages, if you count the postscript. And that's Our Mutual Friend. I believe that's Katie from Books and Things' favorite Dickens. And then we have the one I'm currently reading, and that is Dombey and Son. And that is 948 pages. Which I'm really liking Dombey and Son. It's just, you know. Again, one of my many hurdles I need to get over is, like feeling like I have to. Okay. Now we are in the Anthony. Actually, I should rearrange this. I don't have all my Anthony Trollope books together. I should put them together. But then I have to rearrange everything, so I don't know. This is the Anthony Trollope book. I have more Anthony Trollope books. We have Can You Forgive Her? This is the first book in this Palliser series. This has about... notes. Okay, so 838 pages. That's Can You Forgive Her? One of the Anthony, and not the first Anthony Trollope book you'll be seeing on here. On one of these videos. Okay, that one, London Flavors, that's not, probably not tome. Okay, and then this is a more recent purchase for me. This has been compared to Dickens. This is a bit of a... So then we have 781 pages. And forgive me, I don't know, I still don't know how to say this. The Quinnux, I do not know. I'll have to look at I'll have to listen to how you pronounce it. But this has been compared to Dickens. It's very in the Dickensian style. Not just the writing, but also I think the characters too. Okay, so now we're getting into the Gaskell section. So this was, I believe, this was her last book before she passed away, but she never finished it. So it is incomplete. This is Wives and Daughters. Which is actually kind of sad that it's not complete. So it ends page 649 pages. Although I wonder how long it would be if it had been finished. Okay, so I don't think any of these are tomes. So is this one a tome? Surely a tome? Nope. Shirley's not a tome. Robin is not a tome. Okay, now we're down at the bottom shelf. So we have Vanity Fair, which is by William Makepeace Thackeray, which is supposed to be the British version, the British equivalent to Margaret Mitchell's Gone with the Wind. I'm curious which one came first, Vanity Fair or Gone with the Wind. So this is 719 pages. This is another Arcturus edition, so this one does not have notes in it. So that's the only thing. Which can be both good, you know, or bad. Like, some people might just be interested in the story and not care about the notes. Which, deep down, I really don't care, but then part of me likes to get the Penguin editions or the Oxford World Classics editions and stuff like that. So, there's that one. Okay, so now we have... So, that one doesn't count. Okay, so, let's see. Is the Smoking Bones books, The Woman in White, is this... I believe this counts as a... That's a tome, I think. Yep, because the explanatory notes are in the 600s. Yep, so... Okay, so I think it ends at page 649. Yeah, because I think the appendix... Wait, I think... Oh, no, wait, no, that's part of appendices. It's the preface, which I don't know why the preface is there. Okay. Okay, so not counting the appendices, or the parent preface, we have 643 pages in this book, and that is Woman in White, The Woman in White. The other Wilkie Collins book that The Moonstone, isn't as long, isn't a tome. And let's see if his other book that I have is a tome. Sorry if you can hear me struggling. It's hard to put these books back. Let's see. So this is this is Armadale. Let's see if this one counts the tome. It might just barely count as a tome. Okay, so it's 595 pages. Okay, this is what is taking the most time, is me putting these back. Okay. Let's count. I'm gonna be annoyed if these don't count. Okay, so let's see. $524 pages, and that is Sarah Waters is The Night Watch. So we're in Sarah Waters territory now. This is The Night Watch. So this is, like I said, 524 pages. Let's see, Fingersmith is 582 pages. That is Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. This has kind of been Dickensian, kind of is inspired. This one, Dickens inspired. Okay. Does the bang? Can't remember if the bang counts as a. Damn it. I hate when it does that, when the screen goes back on me. Okay, so we have, this is Sarah Waters' is The Paying Guest. My first Sarah Waters book that I read, I think. So this is 571 pages. That's The Paying Guest. And now we're into the Indian story, like stories that take place in India. Shanna Tram. This is 933 pages. And this is by Gregory David Roberts. Okay, so then we have, this is also considered Dickensian. So this is a fine balance. This was an Oprah Book Club book. So this was about there's 603, and this ends at 603 pages. Okay, so then we have, almost done. This is a retelling of a Indian myth, Ramayana, or Great Indian Epic. And this is about 686 pages of reading, not counting the index. It's that one. And this is one of the ones I wanted to read for Ancient Sith. Now we are into George Eliot's epic novel. Not epic as in the... And we are in... Okay, wait, that's the notes. This is notes. Notes. Okay. So we have 838 pages. That is the Middlemarch the Cloth edition. And I did read that one. I've been meaning to reread it. And I did start to reread it. Nope. Get in there. Let's see. What's annoying, as soon as I take these books out, then the other book will move. So I have to push it back. So, Daniel Deronda by George Eliot. I always like this pink color. Like when I was a kid, I was not a pink girl. I did not like pink, but now I like pink a lot more. Depending on the shade of pink. Okay. This is notes. Okay, so this one, as far as reading material goes, this ends at 710 pages. as far as reading goes. Okay. Let me see if this is considered a tome. The mill and the floss. Okay, yep. Okay, so the mill and the floss is 657 pages. Okay. Count. Let's see. Now we are in the Russian literature section. Let me see if Dr. Zhivago, that counts as a tome. Oh, okay. So there's some poetry towards the end of this. And that page ends 559. There's some poetry. Let me see what happens. Oh, okay, so those are, okay, so that's not part of the story. These are poems by the main character. So I guess in a way they are part of the story, but I think they're part of the main character's poetry. The story ends at 519. That's Dr. Zhivago, which was adapted. I've never seen it, but I do know it was adapted. Okay, so let me just check and make sure it's not a tome. Nope. Okay, almost there. Let's see if this one's tome. I don't think it is, but nope, it's not. Come on. Let's see if Gentleman Moscow is one. Nope. Okay. Okay, now we have Brothers Karamazov, which was probably not how you say it, the Russian pronunciation. But, okay, so this is about... Okay, almost done. 776 pages. And I've already read up to 236. Which I should have done that with all the other ones, but I'm not going to. So, it's Brothers Karamazov. Crime and Punishment. This is my first Russian literature that I've ever read. This is... Oh, nope, that's... This is 521 pages. Crime and Punishment. Almost done. Okay. Almost done. Now we're actually in the Tolstoy section. Oh, wait. Well, actually, no, this is not a Tolstoy. I'm almost in the Tolstoy section. So, we have The Idiot by Dostoevsky. But I wanted to finish Brothers Karamazov before I got to this one. I love this edition. It's so simple and just so, I just really like these. So this is 615 pages. That's The Idiot. Okay, now we're on the line. Why can't you go in there? Excuse me for a second. Sorry, the hardest part is putting the books back. Okay, so next is the Tolstoy biography by Henri Troyat. Which I'm guessing he's French. Not one of my super long biographies. It's probably not as long as I think it is. Okay. So this ends on page 700. Exactly, not counting the appendices. It's the Tolstoy biography. Now this one, oh, great, I ruined it. I need to put tape on this. This is Anna Karenina. So this is the one I finished this year. One of the ones. There's a couple others. There are like 2 other books, third tomes that I finished this year. Yes, I'm very happy about that one. Yay, Anna Karenina. I finished it. And I want to finish this one before I get into anything else by Tolstoy, which his biggest is War and Peace. And you know, there were some slow parts. And it's really a story about life, so if you're not interested in that, then you might not love this one. So this has 963 pages. It took me quite a while to read this. Okay. Okay, and then the final book for this particular shelf, if I can get Anna Karenina back, only without ruining the book. My cloth bound of War and Peace. This has about, again, I don't know why these publishers include all these extra pages that are blank. That's the afterword, the notes, not counting all that stuff. No disrespect, it's just I don't want to go through all that. So this is probably the longest book, at least as far as I know. 1,358 pages. So this is probably the longest. Now, that last part of the epilogue, I've been told, basically has Tolstoy summing up everything you read and basically explaining it all to you. But yeah, that is War and Peace by Tolstoy. So far, that's the longest book, probably. Because I think even longer than it. Okay. I'll worry about that in a minute. So, that is on this shelf, the longest books on this shelf. So, wait, well, let me show you. I have these vintage edition that my sister got me last year for Christmas of these Little Women, and then the Grimm's fairy tales, and what's that? Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales, which is really great because I had got the Grimm's brothers and the Hans Christian Andersen, and I gave the Hans Christian Andersen because I had this great idea. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get it for my cousin, which she probably didn't even read it. She probably got rid of it. But I figured out every kid deserves that, and I bought it, and then I wish I had kept it. I couldn't decide between Grimm's or that one. But this one, let's see if this one. Nope, it's not at home. But these are really cool looking, these vintage books. So that is this shelf of all my big books. Only a couple of them have been read. Only a few of them have been read. I don't know when I'm going to upload the other shelf, the final shelf, because I'm going to go out and run some errands now that I'm done filming this. So, again, if there are any, I would love for you to share in the comments below big books that you have read or that you have on your shelf, if you have any on there. If you guys like this video, please give a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell notification below if you want to be notified whenever I put up videos. And if you don't have any comments, but you don't know what to say, but you want to leave a comment, then leave me a cute little emoji. And I will talk to you all later. All right. Bye.